It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, well, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is Expresso, and it's time for another edition of our Wednesday feature. And this is where we really focus on the unconventional side of the law. It's called So Now What? And we're really once again joined by our expert lawyer and director at legalities.co.za. This is Eitan Stern. Welcome back.
Good to be here.
Well, you know our Expresso family, we always get into trouble.
Yeah, no, completely, dude. And you are doubly qualified because you are, in fact, a lawyer, which is why you're here. You like getting into trouble, and you got some tats there, dude. We were joking about like having regrets, but this is very personal space here. And if someone messes up a tattoo, it can be really detrimental to your own self-image. But it's quite a thing. I suppose the big question is, can you sue someone if they mess up your tattoo?
Okay, so in South African law, you know that, funnily enough, there actually are no laws relating to tattoos and piercings. They're pretty much unregulated. But you still have health and safety regulations. So so when you're getting a tattoo, the tattoo parlor still has to abide by health and safety regulations, but it's pretty unregulated. In South African law, you are allowed to do dangerous things.
It is my
John
life.
Bowlby.
It is. Oh man, can we just spend the rest of the show looking at tattoos that have gone wrong?
I've seen those failed tattoos, and it's scary, especially if it's a name or like a picture, I suppose you can work with. I mean, only you know what you really wanted. But what do you do in the event that a tattoo artist messes up the tattoo?
Okay, so tattoo artists, even though there are no laws relating to it, tattoo artists still have to get registered with the local authorities. So local municipalities. Come guys. so local municipalities, it's their job to regulate kind of shops in their municipality, and they are allowed to make laws relating to cleanliness or the materials that can be used or where the shops can be put. So they still have these health and safety regulations to abide by. So if you go to a tattoo artist and they do something, you know, which doesn't conform with the health and safety regulations, so they're doing something dodgy, then you can do something about it and you can report them to your municipality.
So if you have health complications, we get that. That kind of all makes sense. Is there a consumer law that applies here? You're buying something, you're buying a product with an expectation, and that falls short. Does that come into play here?
Yeah, definitely. You should be a lawyer.
It's a choice. You're making a choice to get that tattoo, but someone's providing you with a product.
Exactly. So if there's no specific laws, but there's health and safety laws, and then there's of course consumer laws. So if a tattoo artist and your regular kind of laws around liability. So if a tattoo artist does something negligent, so you put your wife's name but they spell it wrong by mistake, or they use needles that aren't clean or something like that, then you definitely could sue them for damages caused by their negligence. Or if they did something intentional, so they intentionally harmed you to some extent, then you could definitely sue them. The other really important thing to know, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be interesting for people out there to know, is there are no specific laws around tattooing kids, but we've got our child protection laws. So if you are a tattoo artist and you tattoo a kid, someone under the age of 18, you could definitely be liable for abuse to a child for that. So it's definitely not a good idea to be tattooing children.
So if the parent or the guardian signs off to the 16-year-old getting a little star on their ankle or whatever it is that still then on the tattoo artist?
No, because if you...
And are you allowed to do that?
So if the child was under 16, then it would be on the tattoo artist. If the child was over 16, the parents can give consent to certain things. Then if your child got a little, say, star on their hip or something, then the tattoo artist would be fine. But the parents should get a good finger wagging, in my opinion.
Interesting. Imagine getting a tattoo at 16.
Because that's the legal repercussions, a good finger wagging. So we're going to get into it. In fact, what I'd really like to ask is, please, if you've had a tattoo go wrong, please post it on our Expresso Morning Show Facebook page, just so we can share your pain. But we're going to continue talking about the legality around tattoos, and if something does go horribly wrong, what can you actually do about it?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been a rather insane show, but we are absolutely loving it. So it's all about the fringe today, from fringe comedy to fringe law. So now what? You got a bad tattoo. You went in there with one expectation. You've walked out and it's a dog show. What do you do? What can you do? Let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. Is it illegal to do a bad tattoo? And we're speaking now to the tattoo artists out there who are about to go to work today. Like, what are the kind of repercussions that can happen in this instance?
Okay, so I mean, it'll be liability like anything else. If you cause harm to another person, then you are liable for whatever harm you cause. And that could be, you know, if someone gets an infection from a bad tattoo or suffers emotional damage because of having...
Emotional damage is real.
Then tattoo artists definitely can be liable of, yeah.
So most of the stories of people that have terrible tattoos is usually when they were intoxicated, got it done, and then realized it the next day. Isn't there some kind of a law that prohibits a tattoo artist from actually doing a tattoo on someone that's clearly intoxicated?
Yeah, well, I mean, so again, there's no specific laws around tattoos, but there are laws around, you know, consent. And essentially with a tattoo, you are to some extent, you know, harming or altering someone, and someone can't give proper consent if they are intoxicated. So it's a definite bad idea, and tattoo artists definitely could land up in trouble if they are tattooing people that are intoxicated in any way.
What is the expectation? Because it is physical. You are using equipment that is, you know, it's in a very personal space. You've signed a waiver.
Yeah.
But you still get injured.
Okay, so waivers are a really interesting thing. So when you get a tattoo, generally you're made to sign a form that says, you know, I consent to this tattoo, and if anything goes wrong, the tattoo artist is not responsible. So if you're going to get a tattoo and you're made to sign a waiver, you must realize you are signing away your rights, more or less, to complain if anything goes wrong. So unless the tattoo artist has done something negligent or intentional, then you are signing away your rights to complain, essentially, if anything goes wrong. So it's really important, if you getting a tattoo, that you read the indemnity form and that you understand the process that you're going through, because once you sign that form, to a large extent...
But it doesn't absolve them from negligence still, though.
Nothing absolves someone from gross negligence or intentional harm. But, you know, if the tattoo artist is having a bad day and the tattoo doesn't look great, then, you know, you've signed the form.
You've signed the form.
Yeah.
And tell me, is a company allowed to deny you employment because of your tattoos?
Okay, really interesting. So in South African law, there actually is case law around this. So you are not allowed to discriminate against someone on the basis of having tattoos. This has actually been dealt with in our courts. It is still considered discrimination, and in South African labour law, discrimination of any sort is not allowed. So, you know, provided it doesn't manifestly affect you from doing the job. So maybe as a TV presenter, if you got a tattoo on your forehead, they might say, listen, you can't do your job.
Believe it or not, I was thinking about that just now. Like, what about...
You get a Mike Tyson done or something.
Yeah, you know?
But yeah, you're not allowed to discriminate against someone just because they have tattoos. But we must remember, South Africa is still a pretty conservative society.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're out there and you're thinking about getting tattoos and you're young enough to make bad decisions, then maybe stay away from the hands and face and neck.
Well, one of the requirements, if you know, going into the airline field in the UAE, is they don't want you to have any tattoos, but that's part of the... You can't apply if you've got visible tattoos.
For sure. Also, the UAE probably isn't as much of a constitutional democracy as...
as South Africa or Cape Town per se. Just last one really important question.
Yes.
In the eyes of the law, does a tattoo make you cooler?
I'm not entirely sure of that. But what I can tell you is like there's a lot of tattoo artists out there, and a lot of, you know, people, if someone's going to get a tattoo, they should be researching this and make sure they like the artist. And if you're spending more time researching your Instagram filter than your tattoo artist, then there's probably going to be something that goes wrong with your tattoo.
Yeah. I feel like they need to first practice in pen so I can see what it's going to look like on the skin, because mistakes happen.
Yeah. Now, we are blessed to have some of the best tattoo artists around here in South Africa, but don't be an idiot. Just think about it, so you're not left saying, so now what? And if you have had a few to drink, don't get a tattoo. It's as simple as that. Eitan, you're a genius, dude. Absolutely loved today.
Thank you.
Absolutely loved today. Really pushed you to your limits today. And awesome stuff. Hopefully you've learned a little something.